extended inside look at Doctor Who, the Waters of Mars.
The laws of time are mine, and they will obey me!
So I'm sitting there thinking, I need to write everything I've ever wanted to write, and I need to push this character into every corner that interests me, way beyond normal stories. I can write a story in which the Doctor's funny, has a bit of a row with an alien, saves the world.
Yes, I am. Frequently.
We've done that, and that's a lovely bog-standard approach to Doctor Who. It's got to go further now because the stakes are so much higher, because everyone knows he's going to die, and everyone knows they're watching David Tennant for the last time being the Doctor.
But you be careful, because your song is ending, sir.
By the time we get to Waters of Mars, the Doctor knows that his time is limited. He knows that something is coming for him. So he's in a slightly unusual place. He's in a slightly somber place, and yet he's doing what he always does. He's travelling, and he's keeping going, and he's keeping his head down, and he's trying to just get on with it. And yet, inevitably, on Mars, he ends up walking into a situation where the storm clouds are clearly gathering.
What was that?
Oh, I really should go.
Only really very recently there's been this notion that there may be water on Mars. And yet, of course, there is that terror that on another planet, who knows what might lurk in the water.
We've got to go.
It's a bit like writing a drama set in a submarine. They are trapped, they are sweaty, they are frightened, and there's no way out.
Certainly, I think there might be a few nightmares after seeing Waters of Mars, but in a good way. Doctor Who's always given people nightmares, but they're good nightmares. It's a rite of passage.
Just one drop of water, and you're dead.
Imagine you found yourself somewhere, I don't know, Pompeii.
Imagine you were in Pompeii.
What the hell's that got to do with it? And you tried to save them, but in doing so, you make it happen.
Some things are fixed, some things are in flux. Pompeii is fixed.
How do you know which is which?
Because that's how I see the universe. Every waking second I can see what is, what was, what could be, what must not. That's the burden of the Time Lord, Donna. And I'm the only one left.
In Waters of Mars, this is explored that there are times when you can alter what happened. There are fixed points in time and space which must remain fixed. So what happens on the Mars base is a fixed point, and Time Lords have the ability to be objective about this. They can see how time waxes and wanes, and they know what they can meddle with and what must remain untouched.
Your death is fixed in time forever. And that's right.
The Doctor is walking away from this. He is doing his duty as a Time Lord and saying, no, these people must die, and he can only hear it.
I can't move! We can't get through! No, there's nothing we can do!
It just gets worse and worse. He's listening to a slaughterhouse, to carnage.
But because he's at a point in his life where he's raging against the dying of the inevitable light, it takes him to somewhere that he's not been before. And he snaps, and he decides that he's going to go back in there and he's going to change things.
We're losing oxygen!
He simply has to turn back in the end. He's breaking the laws of time. He's doing the wrong thing.
Anyone!
But actually, I'm cheering. I'm standing there, I'm yelling from the rooftops when he turns around, because that's the Doctor. How could he not, even though it is absolutely the wrong thing to do?
That urge to do something for yourself, to do the selfish act, to do the act that makes you feel good about yourself for once, or to challenge it and say, why can't I save some people? Why can't I?
The look at his eyes, his eyes are different. I think it's the most astonishing performance. There's something blazing behind him that we've never seen in the Doctor before that is frightening. It's meant to be frightening. It's meant to be a man going too far, as any soldier can. He's becoming a fighter, a soldier, and a warrior that he isn't naturally. He's a much more peaceful man. And here he is fighting, and it doesn't suit him. It doesn't work for him.
The Doctor is really, really marching to his death, and we're really examining how he's going to accept that or not, how he's going to behave under such extraordinary pressure.
We're not just fighting the flood, we're fighting time itself! And I'm gonna win!
Isn't anyone going to thank me?
He tries to meld time to his own will, and it's not going to work. And whatever he does, he can't escape the inevitable. And I think ultimately he knows that, but he's raging against the dying of the light, and he's not going to go without a fight.
The whole of history could change. The future of the human race. No one should have that much power.
Tough.
you could argue that the Doctor is responsible for this woman's suicide, even though that actually puts time back on the right course. But it puts him in a horrible position. And he's shocked by that, and he's mortified by that. And then, on top of all that, he's then faced by the approach of his own death.
Is this it? My death?
When he reaches this point in his life when he's been told everything is coming to an end, he's been told that his life is on borrowed time, he just can't quite hold it back.
So he's broken the rules of time, he's broken the rules of Doctor Who, he's broken the rules of the fiction as well. And you can only do that towards the end of his life. That shows that everything is shattering. It's like the fourth wall is starting to break, as well as the rules of time within the series. everything is splintering. So the stakes are getting higher and higher and higher, and as a result, he's heading for his death because it's all going too far.
No.